Up, people? We're playing Cyberpunk 2077. This is the best current known that I'm aware of money glitch, as well as an XP glitch for your crafting if you want to do crafting in Cyberpunk 2077. Only things that realistically you need to try and progress this as far as possible and be able to utilize this exploit is to basically be past the mission in which you meet the Ripperdoc Fingers in the Jig Jig Street area. So in this sort of area, after you've retrieved information and the brain dance of the Death's Head. After you've done that, pretty much, you'll know that this junk shop is here. This guy's probably the best one. However, this realistically could be done pretty much anywhere. And the character build, my character builds a lot of intelligence and technical ability. Don't ask why. But the main things you need to have for this are going to be cost optimization, which reduces component costs of crafted items by 30%, which is very useful. And as you'll see, we're going to get Ex Nihilo the next time we get a thing with a perk point, which is going to be our next time we level up our crafting, which will be pretty quickly here. Now, this is all you got to do. You go up to this guy.
Got anything quality?
You hear your V say, got anything quality, about 1,000,000 times throughout this. You buy the item component, all the item components that you need for your items. Now, basically what you need to do everything in as efficiently as possible is that you need to, I'm going to spam click this. The best way to do this is to buy as much as you can. Obviously, I don't have a whole lot of money, so I've done this now. Don't worry about all my extra items in my inventory over there. And basically, you go over to your crafting, and after you have the cost optimization, you go to your best item that you can craft. In this case, for me, I can craft legend or epic items, but all of my epic items are just basically upgrades to items I already own. So I'm not actually going to be able to craft any from scratch. They're just little upgrades, which isn't that helpful in any way, shape, or form. So my best item right now is the Defender. Now, what happens is looking at my crafting components, it costs 21 rare, 14 uncommon, and 14 common, but sells for 568 eddies. And every time I craft it, gives me 300 XP in crafting. And then you do it again, and basically the idea here is you craft it as many times as possible. Yes, you're probably going to give yourself to being over encumbered, but basically now I have this perk point. I'm going to immediately put it in Ex Nihilo, which gives you a 20% chance to craft an item, which is basically whatever item you're trying to craft, just doing it for free without using any of your components. And then you just exit out, you talk to this guy, you hear got anything quality for the 1,000,000th time, and then you sell him all of your item that you crafted, and you craft it as many times as you can realistically. And at first you might not see the purpose of this, and you might not feel like you're netting a whole lot of money, but then you just go and you skip time, 24 hours.
Got anything quality?
Got anything quality, sir? And then instead of trying to buy items that are higher grade than the grade we need for the item, so in this case the Defender only needs rare and lower, instead of doing that, we will buy as much as possible, and then what we will do is we will sell him all these items, and eventually you will start netting yourself money, especially as soon as you've gotten that Ex Nihilo, because you'll start being able to craft these for free and you'll get more of these. So you'll craft as many as you can. If you're on PC, this will be a lot quicker because you can have that mod that allows you to craft items at instant speed as opposed to doing all these other things. And as you can see, we're getting ourselves to the point where we're one short of being able to craft at least one more. And then eventually...
Got anything quality?
Eventually, you'll end up making more money. So as you saw when we started with about 3K, and now we are ending up at about 5K. And then you just rinse and repeat this process as many times as possible. Now, I'm going to be capped at getting my crafting all the way up to level 14. Now, you might think that might take a long time. It's not really. When each time you craft this item, it gives you 300, and you know, your levels are only about 6K. So you craft about 10 of them, and realistically that's not hard to do, and you're just like leveling up over and over and over. And you're getting to basically start getting more crafting specs that are higher rank and more perk points, and you can start putting it into pretty much anything you need after that. Right now I'm going to be leveling more of my quick hacking stuff, but the best way you do this is just repeating this same process. So we haven't bought any from him now. I think I have to do a 24-hour skip, right? Nope, we just did one. Cool. So, and you could sell him whatever junk items you want to try and maximize the amount of money you have if you so choose, but it's completely up to you and unnecessary. So we're actually reaching the point in which we don't need to differentiate the amount of components that we have to the amount of money we have, because we just have enough money. So you're slowly at first, but after you get that X-Nihilo online, you are netting components, you're netting money, and you're starting to be able to do more things. And then you'll notice, now that we've leveled up, we have the sniper rifle here, which sells for about $4 extra, but it is the exact same amount of components as
Got anything quality?
the components before. So what you would do now is you just basically sell all of your items again that you crafted, and now again you're just trying to craft your highest ranking item for as much as you can.
Got anything quality?
So what I would recommend is you just kind of either turn off your audio for Cyberpunk, or you were running some music or a video or whatever the hell you want in the background while you do this, and you just literally have to stand here. You buy the items you need for whatever item you're crafting. This could be any item, obviously, but you obviously go for one that sells for a high amount of money but doesn't really cost a real whole lot of components. You craft as many as possible, and eventually here you'll see that once I get to a certain level in my crafting, I'm also going to be able to start crafting epic items, and I can craft epic shotguns that'll sell for a lot. You'll know you're good when you're starting to get to the point where you're over encumbered by items because you have too much weight, even though if you look at my starting number, I'm at just over half, and I'm actually going to, now I'm thinking about it, I'm actually going to sell some extra items here because these are items I'm not going to use. So this is about typically where I stay, 95, and he's got, you know, 3K left, and eventually you get to the point where you've done this so much that you are actually making it so that way he doesn't have enough money, and you might be thinking, well, what if I want to craft legendary or epic items? You can, as soon as you start breaking into amounts of money where you can just feasibly just buy everything, you can just start doing that if you so choose. Right now, we're only focusing on the items that are required to craft the item that we're crafting, but you can always start netting more and more item components, and realistically, you could use this to get as many components as you want and as much money as you want. I'm personally going to stop at the point in which I no longer have any more leveling for my crafting at the moment, but eventually I will come back. I'm going to go out and do some missions, and I'm going to come back and be like, all right, cool. I want to now, you know, do more of this, and you'll be good.
Got anything quality?
So, as I said, it will get annoying after a while hearing got anything quality if you're playing FemV. I don't know if MaleV says the same thing or a different thing, but you will get annoyed eventually of all of the nonsense behind this, but
got anything quality?
It's repeating this exact same process as many times as you feel to get as much money as you want, and this works currently on patch 1.31. So we are on 1.3.1. And just to prove, got it right down here, 1.31. Super easy. It's not very difficult at all. You're farming crafting XP, which isn't the most amazing thing, but it allows you to then very much be able to just, especially if you're leveling a lot of stuff, you get to just craft, you know, insanely broken items and or whatever the fuck you feel like, pretty much. And eventually you'll even start farming perk points that you can put into pretty much everything. Right now I'm putting it into quick hacking. My number one advice for you, especially if you're fairly decently early on as I am, you know, things like stadium love are considered high fucking danger. Make sure that you drop a save point immediately after you are doing all of this stuff. Because if you don't, and then you die, this does not have an auto save point right after you do all of this. So yeah, you're gonna regret it. But if you carry on with this, you can probably make, you know, a few $1,000, a few like tens of thousands. I would say at least about a 10k eddies in probably under an hour, depending on the items that you're crafting. Obviously, if you're lower level and you're doing it going upward, maybe not so much. Or if you just don't have, say, things like the Grease Monkey perk, or, you know, anything that allows you to craft items that are, you know, if you don't have True Craftsman and you don't have Grease Monkey, you should invest in those if you want to try and make this as optimized as possible, especially for your time. But obviously, that's completely up to you.
Got anything quality?
Right, I have to reset you. And you don't even have to look away from him or anything, you just literally keep staring at him.
Got anything quality?
And you keep saying, got anything quality. It's very annoying, I know, but yeah, like I said, you could just turn down your volume either temporarily or what have you. If you play with headphones, you could take your headphones just out. But I would say that this is probably the most efficient way of building up money as well as crafting XP. Obviously, if crafting XP isn't your main focus, you might still just want to do this for the sake of getting a lot of money, so that way you can go and buy pretty much any and all cyberware and all things that you really want to buy.
Got anything quality?
And then you just go on with that. Now, sometimes when you're really unlucky with your Ex Nihilos, you're not going to net as much money, but you're still going to net some money. So that is generally the idea that you want to go with here. Reset this man.
Got anything quality?
Got anything quality? You buy a shitload of resources. You just buy pretty much all the components for the specific item. It's just currently the most optimistic or optimized way of doing it. And then you go into your crafting. You craft your best item that you can sell as many times as possible. Eventually you'll get to such a high level that eventually you just bump up and you can do it as long as you have the necessary skills and perks and stuff in your character's stuff.
Got anything quality?
Got anything quality? You sell him 1,000,000 sniper rifles, make him poor, and steal all of his money. And then you just reset time.
Got anything quality?
Got anything quality? He doesn't. Even though his first commentary the first time you say it to him is going to be, I only deal in quality. It's not true. He's lying to you. So I accidentally did not buy all the uncommon. And a good thing that you'll notice here too is, especially in this particular case, the only thing that we're not getting, like not netting a whole lot of right now, is the rare item components. We're actually netting a shitload of uncommon and a shitload of common, to the point where we almost have 2,000 uncommon components just before we started doing this. And we didn't quite have enough to level up this time.
Got anything quality?
Got anything quality, sir? How about 1,000,000 sniper rifles? and we're netting some money, and then we just reset them. And this is the little dance we do for as long as we feel. For as long as you feel like, and as long as you are willing to put in this time and effort and energy, you net as much money as you kind of pretty much want to, even if you can't level up anymore or like gain any experience or anything. Like, even if you max out your crafting, as I'm pretty much going to do, you could stop whenever. You don't have to stop as soon as that is the thing that is happening, if that makes sense. Okay, one more. Cool.
Got anything quality?
But yeah, generally I would say that if your starting carrying capacity is under half, and then you can craft so many items that you end up over encumbered, you're probably going to be making a metric boatload of money. You reset the time, you go and you talk to him, and then you just buy all the components. And this is good for being able to just farm literally all of the components you want, so you can craft literally anything, as well as being able to farm money and like I said, crafting XP, as well as perk points, depending on how high your technical ability will allow you to keep leveling to. Because obviously you don't get perk points if you're not actually advancing your crafting ability. So the perk points farm is dependent on where your level's at and how much you can actually do. But this is a good way of just gaining a lot of money if the money thing is your main concern, which is very easy to just do. But yeah, you're also going to hear a lot of, because you're skipping a lot of time, you're going to hear your V just like groaning with the fact of the passage of time, and you still have the shard in your head and everything's awful for V.
Got anything
Sucks
quality?
to suck, pretty much, is what I'm saying. But as soon as you can kind of get past that point of not caring about how annoying it is to hear got anything quality for about 4 years, and you just get to the, I'm just going to craft the same item repeatedly, and I'm going to level up a shitload, you end up enjoying yourself a little bit. And as you'll see, eventually, I think it's on the next level up, it might be 13, but eventually I get to the point where I can
Got
craft
anything quality?
epic items, and I get crafting specs just for having leveled up. And that will be good, because then those items sell for even more money. And then you're optimizing even more how much stuff you're doing. But this is the best way to do everything. Is, like I said, buy the items that you need for your best selling item that you can craft at the best like rates and everything. You buy as much as you can, you go, you craft your highest ranking item. In this case, for me, it's a sniper rifle. It used to be a light machine gun, now it's just a sniper. It's $4 more, but that $4 is, you know, very useful. One more. Nice. It has not reset, but now we have more things in the uncommon area that we can craft. Are they useful? Not really, but hey.
Got anything quality?
Those are a lot of sniper rifles. But yes, the more that you do this, the more money and the more everything that you get. The last time I did this, before I had to reset and then I actually started this stream, I got up to about 4K or 40K, 45, 46K, so from where you guys saw me start at the beginning of the video. Shit, I missed 2 of these, which could come in handy. Yeah, so I guess it's level 13, I would guess. Also, if you want to see, because we basically just started this one fresh here, this particular level of crafting from 12 to 13 is 100 or 14k worth of XP. We've crafted a couple of snipers and we're already at 17 of that. Well, okay, so it's, yeah, 14,000 and we're already at almost 2,000 of it. And we haven't even, you know, ran out of materials yet. So yes, this is a little slow, but it's still better than nothing. And it's more quick than pretty much anything else I've seen at the current moment. The best one that used to be the thing, and I have a video on this still on my channel, but it is now outdated, is the one with the duplication glitch of the paintings, and then you would just go to drop points and reset its money with skipping time. Doesn't work anymore. Quality? They patched that one out, so the duplication glitch doesn't work anymore, which is a shame, but what can you do? Yeah, this is the main time where I'm like, I wish I was on a PC. That and load times and the occasional time when I have to drive across the entire city and then I find everything's not loaded. Those are about the only times when I actually wish I was either on a different platform altogether or just like either on a PS5 or on a fucking PC.
Got anything quality?
But for the most part, I don't really much care. There aren't too many real problems with Cyberpunk as like from a technical standpoint anymore. There were a lot more on launch, but I'm also a lot less caring about those things broadly speaking anyways, so yes, it is more ideal to try and level up and get the higher ranking items as much as possible. But the problem is all of my epic items here are all just upgrades to items I already own.
Got anything quality?
And if it gives you any amount of serotonin to just watch that like XP bar like update in between each of your little sessions here when you see it, you'll get a large amount of serotonin here.
Got anything quality?
When you see like a big ass number and your crafting goes up like 4 bajillion and you're just like, oh yes, that is quite satisfying, I find personally. Yes, this is a very easy, very simplistic way of doing things. It does become quite repetitively annoying, but if you go with it for a long enough time, you can have some good fun with it. I'm sure you could probably also do this with quick hacks, but the differentiation of quick hacks to this is I would say, I haven't tested it, but I would probably assume that the quick hacks don't sell for a whole lot of money. Even if you're at a net runner, because like I guess nobody values the net running skills, even though net running is the most overpowered thing in the Cyberpunk universe, because net running, because so many things operate on the net or operate with being like, you know, technology that's hackable, which is honestly not even a Cyberpunk thing. For the most part, that's the real world that we live in too, is just there's so much that operates on technology that's hackable, that things like hack the planet, realistic, because you realistically can. Oh, 1 OA, and then our next time I think we get it to start doing the shotgun, which will make it 500 XP at a time and make it a little bit quicker. Yes, this is PlayStation 4. This is not PlayStation 5. This is not Xbox at all. This is PS4 version, so you'll notice some things are not the most ideal for sure. Alright, craft one more of these and we should be able to do a shotgun, right? Maybe, maybe not. We're at 13 now. crafting. Haha. So, between this and this, now this sells actually for less money than both of the defender and the sniper, but the shotgun sells for a lot more. And you'll notice again that the main thing you're going to run out of first is going to be your rare item components. But you are using less rare item components on this than you were with your sniper. And as you see in the top left, we're gaining 500 XP every time we craft this shotgun. And now we're going to start getting to the part where he runs out of money. So you're actually going to pretty much now be able to start farming the legendary and the epic components because, well, you're going to need to, because he's going to run out of money and you're going to have lots of money and you're going to need to do something if you want to try and make as much money as possible.
Got anything quality?
So now we don't need to get common item components. We need to get epic, we need to get rare, and we need to get uncommon. We don't really need to get uncommon right now because we have like over 2,000 of it, but it is still good to try and just optimize. And again, just buy them just for the sake of at least you're saving them, and each time you're buying, you're netting generally. And eventually, like I said, you will just max out your whole last level, and then you're going to run out of being able to get, you know, points for it. We actually ran out of epic components first. That's rare. Last time I did this whole spiel,
Got anything
that
quality?
wasn't what happened. So as you can see, we have about 20 shotguns now, and then we just sell him all the shotguns back. Unless he runs out of money, which is possible, but right now isn't going to be the case. Mostly because we bought all of his components, period, full stop.
Got anything?
Now, we can continue to do buying all of the legendary components as well, but that's really up to you if you want to try and optimize for that. Right now, I don't even have the Edge Runner Artisan, or the thing that lets me craft legendary items. I'm not there yet, but I am going to buy all the uncommon
quality?
stuff. I did not mean to do that. Or that. We go this, and Kadoosh. So you can always just go and look at pretty much all of your items and see what is going to be your most efficient item.
quality?
But as far as I've seen, this is pretty much the best route, is that you're going to keep having these be your items, your go-to items. And as stated, you are going to net what seems like little amounts of money, but it is going to add up
Got
over
anything
time.
quality?
And it really depends on your spending as well, of course, because if you're buying them all the legendary components, that is going to suck. As well as what you also can be doing here, because what is changed now is now you're actually running out of epic components first. You can just start farming up the amount of rare, so that way you can go back to farming and building your sniper rifles or your defenders or whatever the fuck you feel like. Alright, and there's level 14. We're going to keep crafting these for the money because we have nothing else to do. We got another perk point. I'm going to put hacking more quick hacking stuff because I really like my quick hacking. This is a bizarre build as stated before,
Got
but
anything quality?
we're going to do that, and then we're going to sell him 20 shotguns. And he didn't run out of money. It happened to me before, so that's why I keep being like, well, he could run out of money, because he can. Now again, if you want to make more money and just keep on doing this, you realistically, you can, but you definitely don't need to in any way, shape, or form. And as I said, now I've maxed it out, I'm going to give myself a nice little save here. I'm going to override this save. And it is a corpo run. The corpo part does not matter though. And yeah, that is the most efficient. It is annoying, but it is the most efficient way to farm money currently in Cyberpunk 1.31. Thank you for coming by and watching, and thank you for the likes, views, subscriptions, all that fun stuff. Let me know what you think, and if this does end up being patched out, you're sure to see an updated version whenever I figure it out or see it. So